Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a breakdown of the AFC divisional playoff game between the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. In this video, we're going to just give a whole recap of the game and time to talk about my feelings throughout the game and obviously how I feel about the result. That went obviously at the end of the game. Before I get into it, though, I'd like to ask if that at any point inside this video you end up having a great time, you end up enjoying it, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Not only is it free, I put out content pretty much every single day surrounding the NFL, whether that's fantasy football content, which is mostly what my channel is based on, NFL draft content, as well as NFL content as a whole. I'm trying to bring in all types of different videos in this offseason to make sure that you guys who love football, obviously, continue to get that fix of what we like to listen to about football as a whole. So let's get into it. The Buffalo Bills defeat the Baltimore Ravens 17-3. Now, this was a tough game to watch. Considering Vegas predicted this would be the highest scoring matchup of the week, this game was an absolute fucking snooze fest in compared to what we would think it was going to, or the end result of the game would have been, which would have been a much more high scoring game. Now, the Bills controlled this game the whole goddamn game. The Baltimore Ravens kicking situation was the most confusing thing I've ever seen, but then once you realized how windy it was, you wouldn't have been very confused. The wind was just literally moving the goalposts 50 miles an hour back and forth. I'm not too sure how the actual wind total was, what the number was, but it was something insane because the goalpost was shaking. Every time one of these guys would kick it, it would shake. Josh Allen's throwing the ball and it's going like 50 fucking yards above a guy because of the wind. It was very, very weird to see that it was that windy in the game. So if you're a Ravens fan and you're going to go hop on Justin Tucker, please do not do that. It was not Justin Tucker's fault that you guys lost this game. Now, to break down the game in reality, like I said, it was all Buffalo Bills the whole game long. The game started with the Bills scoring 3 points, then Baltimore scored 3 points. So we're going into half with a 6-point total game, 3-3. And then the third quarter, the Buffalo Bills score 14 points, and then that was pretty much the game because nothing really happened in the fourth quarter aside from Lamar Jackson getting hurt. Lamar, 14 of 24 for 162 yards and 1 INT, as well as 9 for 34 on the ground. Now, what did I think out of Lamar Jackson's performance? This is honestly what I thought Lamar Jackson was going to look like last week up against the Tennessee Titans. Now, I really did believe that Lamar was going to get the monkey off of his back, the chip off of his shoulder, whatever kind of analogy you want to use for winning a fucking playoff game, right? He had to eventually do it. We've seen Lamar look really good in the regular season, but can he do it in the playoffs? And he did last week. But we really saw a come down of Lamar Jackson. In my opinion, there was no way that this guy was going to come back in the fourth quarter. Sure, there was hope for it. Sure, we thought maybe it was going to be a poop game again like a couple of weeks ago when the man just had to drop a deuce in the middle of the game. We thought maybe that's what was going to happen. But at the end of the day, he just is in the concussion protocol, and I hope he's okay, right? Obviously, I don't wish any ill will against Lamar Jackson, but this was not the game that the Ravens fans wanted to see out of Lamar Jackson. And this, again, puts into question if Lamar Jackson is a great NFL quarterback. This game showed me that he is not. There are games where Lamar Jackson plays like the best quarterback in the NFL, and I do not disagree with that statement. There's other games where Lamar Jackson plays like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. This guy really has no middle ground. He's either a world beater up against the Tennessee Titans last week. He's either bad, like he was today, up against the Buffalo Bills, and there's simply no in-between of games for Lamar Jackson. Am I saying Lamar Jackson is a dog shit quarterback who does not even deserve to grace the field in the NFL? Fuck no. I would never say that because I think that Lamar Jackson's plus abilities in the rushing game, his abilities in some games to completely take over, like he's literally playing Madden, the video game, that is why people like Lamar Jackson, but he's going to have these down games every once in a while, and that's what you get with Lamar Jackson. So to me, I don't know what the Ravens are going to do with Lamar Jackson in the future when it comes time to paying this man. How much money can you pay a guy who doesn't seem to be able to throw the ball to anyone unless they are butt naked, wide open? I don't know. And Lamar playing not too hot in this game is going to leave a salty mix in the mouths of the Baltimore Ravens fans. Now, I'm seeing Ravens fans just apologizing, being like, Lamar, it's not your fault. Lamar, it's okay. You have these great games, and I understand where you're coming from. You don't want to diss your own quarterback. But at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson is not the man most people think he is. I tweeted this out earlier in the game. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter at Notorious7TSY. Lamar Jackson is like Michael Vick if Michael Vick couldn't throw the fucking ball. Now, I don't think Lamar Jackson is a bum. Like I said, I think this guy's going to continue to get better in the league, and his passing will get better. But as of right now, I am not sold that Lamar Jackson is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, and this game really told me that. Josh Allen, 23 of 37 for 206 yards and 1 passing touchdown. Josh Allen didn't have that great of a game, 7 for 3 on the ground, but it didn't matter. It seemingly did not matter at all because Josh Allen didn't have to do anything in this game. They were up by 7 zillion. He throws a nice touchdown. He throws the ball a million times, and the wind was just taking it over these guys' heads. I'm not apologizing for Josh Allen. He didn't have a great game, but you can't get on a guy like Josh Allen when you win 17-3 that it's his fault that they're not scoring all these points. Who cares at the end of the day? They ended up winning the game. Devin Singletary, 7 for 25. TJ Yeldon, 2 for 4. Josh Allen, 7 for 3 in the rushing game. Nothing very impressive out of them. For the Baltimore Ravens rushing game, 10 for 42 for Gus Edwards, 10 for 42 for J.K. Dobbins, 9 for 34 for Lamar, and Tyler Huntley, 3 for 32, came in relief of Lamar Jackson. It looked like he was going to score at the end of the game, but obviously didn't end up doing that. Dobbins is going to be a guy next year that I expect to really take that step up. He already had a great rookie year, but I think his sophomore season is going to look even better. Hollywood, 4 for 87, no touchdowns. Hollywood Brown, if you guys play fantasy football, is going to be drafted highly based upon his last 2 games. I believe he played good up against the Titans as well. This is bad news bears for I mean, not really, because I'm not going to draft Hollywood Brown, but people are going to do some mental fucking gymnastics into picking Hollywood Brown next year, because this J.K. Dobbins, 3 for 51, unreal, very good. Mark Andrews, 4 for 28, a down game, had 11 targets, but I mean, the ball just was not looking his way. That fucking interception that Lamar threw really sealed the fate of this game, and that's kind of why I hopped on Lamar so much early on in the video. Willie Snead, 5 for 25, the most average NFL wide receiver you've ever seen. Miles Boykin, 3 for 20. The Buffalo Bills receiving game, Stephon Diggs. Huge round of applause for Mr. Diggs. 8 for 107 and 1 touchdown. This guy is simply a upper echelon above what Stephon Diggs was as a Minnesota Vikings wide receiver. Sure, he was great in Minnesota, but now he is showing his skills even more. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy that he's looking this good. John Brown, 8 for 62. Pretty solid out of him. Devin Singletary, 3 for 12. Dawson Knox, 2 for 18. Isaiah McKenzie, 2 for 8. Cole Beasley, 0-0-0. 2 targets. Gabriel Davis, 0 for 4. I mean, shit, man. I really thought both those guys would have had a much better game. But hey, at the end of the day, no one circled the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills ended up winning this game. Let me know how you guys felt about this game. Did you guys hate that I went in on Lamar Jackson for like 5 fucking minutes of this 8-minute video? Maybe you did, and I apologize for that. I'm very excited to see tomorrow who the Buffalo Bills are going to be facing. Will it be the Chiefs, or will it be the Browns? If it's the Browns, this is going to be the most insane AFC championship game I've ever seen, because no one would have thought these two teams would meet in the AFC conference game, or the AFC championship game. What a weekend it has been thus far. This game, fucking hilarious, though. Sorry that I've just cursed a million times the last couple seconds, but I know most people who are here that are subscribed to me don't care about that. But at the end of the day, it's just so funny. Like, this game was built up to be the biggest game of the weekend. I built it up to that. I was literally on my knees sucking this game off, double pumping the hogs of the game into my mouth, and it just blew a load right on my face like my name was Mia Malkova, and this game didn't end up being as good as we thought, but hey, it is what it is. The Bills won 17-3, and at the end of the day, it wasn't even that bad of a game to watch, even though it was just 3-3 at halftime. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did end up enjoying, let me know what you guys thought in the comments about Lamar Jackson, as well as give me your guys' prediction for the 2 games tomorrow, which are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tampa Bay Tom Brady versus the New Orleans Saints. Will Tampa Bay go 0-3 against the Saints this year, or will they pull out that W, Jameis Winston style, even though he's not there? And will the Cleveland Browns provide the upset of the century? Now, they probably had the upset of the century last week up against the Steelers, but this will be the upset of the century up against the Kansas City Chiefs. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I love you all. Have a great rest of your guys' day. Good night. I love you all. Goodbye.